This is absolutely 100% true. Never wanted to post it till now because I know what happened, as does my brother, and I don't really need to hear criticism. Okay, so here in the Sierra Nevadas is the only place I've heard of this specific one. Really, it's more of a local legend. You can take this with all the grains of salt you need to, but I swear this story to be true, and I have my brother to back me up. This might be a bit long. So growing up, I didn't live on a reservation, but about 5 miles away from the closest one. It actually butts up to my grandfather's property. Still grew up with everyone. All the elders are very spiritual. My dad was a special case. He was surrounded by paranormal activity all through his childhood. He'd talk about it when he was drunk, which was quite often. Coincidentally, he drank to keep the demons at bay, so to say. There was this one legend that he told me early on. Living in a very rural mountain house on a road known for its activity, even rural compared to the small town, boys and men would pee outside quite often. Just quick and easy. My dad, though, he always kicked dirt over his pee, yes, like a dog. I asked him when I was real young and imitating him one time why he did that. He told me a story that I never forgot because it scared the shit out of me. He said that there's an ancient medicine man, neither man nor beast, something in between. Now, this medicine man wasn't a healer, he was evil. He told me that when a native man or kid, usually kids, wouldn't step off the trail to pee, they need to kick dirt over their pee. If they don't, the medicine man, he has a name that you're not to speak, or he hears you, will walk the trails at night. Once he comes across your scent, he'll pick a handful of dirt from where you peed and smell it. He puts it in a medicine bag he wears around his neck and begins to hunt you. He hunts at night, especially if you're a bad kid. I will say his name starts with a W and sounds like Tatmu. Gives me the chills thinking about his name. Well, my brother and I kind of grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. At the time, I was a big pothead with no money. My brother was a full-blown drug addict who moved back in for a few months, just as I had when I was about 19, putting him at about 26. We were doing a lot of bad stuff, especially in the neighboring community. Definitely bad kids, so when I was in high school, there was a guy who moved on our road between our place and my grandpa's ranch. He grew a lot of weed. I knew the trail to get there, and me and a few buddies went and cut his crop in the night one summer. It was a good summer, needless to say. Bored one night, hanging with my brother, I told him about the crop. Turns out he knew about it too. We decided to go that night and get some fresh buds. Now our road is long, windy, one lane and dark, extremely dark. There was a little moonlight out so we could see, but not much. Our eyes adjusted. My brother, being paranoid on stimulants, decided we should walk the old railroad grade that runs parallel to the road, but beneath, it's where people traveled when the road was still a railroad. I agreed, but said we should go up to the main road because that's where the trailhead to the guy's place was marked with a red gate. Well, my brother, genius he thinks he is, says the dogs will bark and there will be trail cams. The time I went, we just took all the trail cams and no evidence. I digress. He says, let's stay on the trail and cut through the brush. So we tried that and failed, as the brush was practically a wall. Now, at this point, we're a lot closer to our grandfather's property, and we're close with a guy who rents a house on the other side of the property, about 1,200 acre property that I now live on. So we decided to go to his place and stay the rest of the night. A few things you should know. My grandpa refuses to speak anything paranormal, but he's adamant that you do not go on his property without permission. And if you are given permission, you stick to where he tells you. And lastly, you never ever go past the yard on his property at night. We tried countless times to get even my dad to talk about it, but he'd just say something like, "You don't want to be there after midnight. Trust me." My dad is not a fearful man. Along the road, there's a waterfall where a bridge crosses. At that point, the railroad grade is thousands of yards beneath it, so you cross the creek. It was dry, as it was middle of summer. We stopped there and I took a pee. Well, we both did. I don't know why, but I didn't kick dirt. I thought about it while walking away, but didn't say anything. Okay, at this point, I realize I forgot to mention I had a shotgun and my brother had his compound bow. One of the reasons we decided to stay off the road even with little traffic. This is when shit kinda hits the fan. There's 3 houses on my grandfather's land. We were coming up the hill to the one he rents to a lovely old couple. We're walking up this road that used to be used to transport cattle but hadn't been used in a while, and we're being as silent as we can as we aren't supposed to be there. On our left is an open field. At our 10 o'clock, the road continues. On our right, the road is cut into a hill, so a wall of dirt above our heads. I'm 6 feet 1 inch to give you an idea of the height. As we're walking, well, creeping really, on high alert, we both hear something. Sounds like a horse, but there are no more horses on the property, not for years. We both exchange looks that we can barely see as it's so dark, and before we know it, it's running at us. Not galloping, running. 2 hooves hitting the ground in very long strides. Strides that tell you this thing is probably 2 to 3 feet taller than us. I'm not too prideful to admit that I froze in my tracks, shotgun in hand. Didn't even aim it. My brother leapt backwards and claims he drew his bow, but didn't release an arrow. We were dumbstruck. This thing is coming at us like a freight train in a few seconds that felt like hours, and you can hear its breathing, huffing hard, like a buffalo or a very big bull. We could hardly make out the outline, but it was tall and humanoid. My mind pictured scraggly, drawn horse-like legs running on cloven hooves in my last few moments, or so I thought. As the thing gets spitting distance to us, I realized, and my brother later recounts, there's something chasing it. I have no frame of reference for what was behind it, because it drew in the darkness and was blacker than the night. That's the only reason you could see the outline of this thing that I likened to what a saber-toothed tiger must look like. It was fast. It had run the same distance it had in just a couple seconds, it seemed, and was on the hooved thing's tail just as its hooves planted one last time mere feet from me. With one more shoo-off of breath, it leapt clear above us onto the bank behind, and whatever was chasing it slid hard like a horse breaking for dear life, and then poof. It was just fucking gone, nothing. All we hear is the thing now, still running behind us through manzanita and oak trees, snapping giant limbs like a bulldozer in the night. We stood, regained our composure, what was left of it, and charted our course. We still had quite a ways to go. To get to our friend's place, do we go in the direction of whatever was behind the thing? Or do we take a lesser-used trail behind the old folks' house and towards the hooved beast still snapping limbs and stalking around in the darkness? Might have been foolish of us, but we both decided we don't want to deal with whatever was chasing it. So we went towards the beast as quietly as we could. We heard the odd step and branch break behind us as we made it the rest of the way. We both felt an immediate sense of calm the moment we passed the gate that bordered the yard of the house. We woke up our friend and shared a cigarette as we told him the story, still shaking and hardly wanting to speak about it. To this day, I don't know what we came across. We never spoke to Grandpa about it. And this is the first time I've written it out. I'm 30 now, and I live in the house that we were trying to make it to all night. I don't venture past my gate at night unless I'm driving out. I think we saw the medicine man, though. My brother still isn't sure.